Your child covers their ears. Maybe it's at a birthday party. Maybe it's in the grocery store. Maybe it's during a school assembly. Or maybe it's happening right in your own living room. And if you're like many parents, you've probably wondered, why are they doing that? Some people assume it's bad behavior. Others think the child is being dramatic. But the truth is often very different. In many cases, ear covering is not a problem. It's actually a solution. Today, we're going to talk about why many neurodivergent children cover their ears, what it can tell us about their experience, and how parents can respond in a way that helps. It's usually not bad behavior. When people see a child covering their ears, they sometimes make assumptions. Maybe the child is being rude. Maybe they're refusing to participate. Maybe they're seeking attention. But for many neurodivergent children, none of those things are true. They're not trying to create a problem. They're trying to solve one. Imagine if every sound around you suddenly became much louder. The hum of the lights, people talking, shopping carts rolling across the floor, music playing in the background, children laughing, announcements over a speaker. Now imagine trying to process all of those sounds at the same time. For many neurodivergent children, environments that seem normal to others can feel overwhelming. Covering their ears is often their way of coping. The brain processes sensory information differently. Our brains are constantly receiving information from the world around us. Sounds, lights, textures, smells, movement. Most people naturally filter out information that isn't important. But many neurodivergent children process sensory information differently. Their brains may notice every sound, every movement, every change in the environment. Things that seem small to us can feel huge to them. That's why a classroom, a restaurant, or a crowded event can sometimes become overwhelming. It's not that the child is choosing to react. It's that their nervous system is working incredibly hard to manage everything coming in. Ear covering can be a coping strategy. This is one of the most important things parents can understand. Covering ears is often a coping strategy. Think about what adults do when they're overwhelmed. We may step outside, turn down the music, put on headphones, take a break. Children need coping strategies too. Many neurodivergent children haven't yet developed lots of tools for managing sensory overload. So they use the tools they have. And one of the simplest tools is covering their ears. They're trying to reduce the amount of information entering their system. In other words, they're helping themselves. That's why it's important to see the behavior through a different lens. Instead of asking, how do I stop this behavior? Ask, what is my child trying to communicate? That question often leads to much better answers. Ear covering can be a warning sign. Sometimes ear covering tells us something important. It can be an early warning sign that a child is becoming overwhelmed. Think of it like a check engine light in a car. The light appears before a bigger problem happens. For many children, covering their ears is a signal that their nervous system is approaching its limit. If the environment continues to become more intense, the child may eventually experience a meltdown. This is why recognizing early warning signs is so valuable. When parents notice these signs, they often have an opportunity to intervene before overwhelm becomes too severe. What parents can do. So how should parents respond? Let's talk about some practical strategies. 1. Notice patterns. Pay attention to when ear covering happens. Is it certain locations? Specific noises? Particular times of day? The more patterns you identify, the more you can understand your child's sensory needs. 2. Reduce sensory input. If possible, lower the volume. Move to a quieter space. Take a break from the environment. Even small changes can make a big difference. 3. Validate their experience. Instead of saying, "You're fine," try saying, "That sounds really loud." Or, "I can see this environment feels overwhelming." Validation helps children feel understood. And feeling understood can reduce stress. 4. Prepare ahead of time. If you know an environment may be overwhelming, plan ahead. Talk about what to expect. Identify quiet areas. Build in breaks. Preparation can reduce anxiety and make challenging situations easier to manage. 5. Remember that every child is different. What helps one child may not help another. Some children need quiet, others need movement, some need space. Others need connection. The goal isn't to force a child into one solution. The goal is to discover what works for your child. A message for parents: if your child covers their ears, I want you to remember something. They're not trying to make your life difficult. They're not trying to embarrass you. And they're not broken. Many neurodivergent children experience the world in ways that others can't see. What looks like a simple behavior on the outside may actually be a child doing their best to manage an overwhelming situation. When we understand that, our response changes. We become more curious, more compassionate, and more supportive, and that can make a huge difference in a child's life. Conclusion: the next time you see your child covering their ears, pause before making assumptions. Ask yourself, what might they be experiencing right now? Because in many cases, ear covering isn't a problem that needs to be fixed. It's communication, it's a coping strategy, and sometimes it's an important signal that a child needs support. If this video helped you, subscribe to Neurodivergent Parenting Hub for more practical parenting tips, emotional support, and strategies for raising neurodivergent children. And I'd love to hear from you. When do you notice your child covering their ears most often? Share your experience in the comments below.